There's a lot of leaves on the streets here in Amsterdam because, it's fall and the leaves come off the trees and they land in the street. And I actually was just wondering a couple days ago, what do they do with all these leaves? Well, I'm finding out right now because this dude is outside my window with a leaf blower making a lot of noise while I'm trying to get on here and do a show because Expo's going on in Chicago and this guy won't stop it. The blowing of the leaves killing me here. Jersey Jack Pinball releases Pirates of the Caribbean at Expo. We need to talk about it. Episode 239 of Coast to Coast Pinball. Let's go. Welcome to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast. This is a commentary. I'm a man out of quarters. How are you all doing? Coming to you not live from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. It is noon o'clock, straight up high noon on Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. 2017. I had to remember what year it was. Can't even remember. Why am I not at work, right? I should be at work. Well, my company, Taylor Guitars, fantastic company. It's our 43rd birthday today. Applause, Taylor Guitars. And we have a holiday, a self-imposed holiday every year on Taylor's birthday, and we call it Taylor Day. So I have the day off. Teresa's at work. I'm all alone, and I should be in Chicago because Expo's going on, and there's, things happening, and we're here to talk about mainly one specific thing that's rocking the pinball masses this evening, USA, this morning, afternoon here in Europe. Jersey Jack Pinball shows off, unveils, releases Pirates of the Caribbean. We're going to talk about it. It's a big story. I'm excited. It's not often that we have these type of reveals where, yes, I know, terribly kept secret. We all knew it was Pirates of the Caribbean. Caribbean. Whatever. Some of us even had been leaked photos, and, I try to avoid spoiling things. I was holding out hope through last episode that we were going to have a standard body. So I think I mentioned on the show, and then immediately I was texted by a bunch of people, nope, it's a wide body, but that's okay. So, poorly kept secret doesn't matter. Let's slow down. Hold on. I want to slow down. This expo is, to me, a very interesting expo in Chicago because there's this downward slide in expo from what I can see. The free play room seems to have fewer games. The paid room for people showing off games, the name of this is slipping my mind right now. The exhibitor room, thank you, person on my shoulder. It seems to have some empty space this year. The show's taken criticism. I think a lot of it very justified. Stern, the biggest company in the world of pinball, is not showing off a new title. They're in between titles right now. They have been communicating through their really well done Stern of the Union newsletter that they have code updates coming. They're working on new things. Lots going on at the company, but this just happened. This expo has caught them in a kind of off cycle, which is okay. Happens. My industry, guitars, we have that a lot of times where we have the NAMM show, the big trade show every year, and I've seen many companies rush products to hit the NAMM show, hit the trade show, get the news cycle, and often I think that's a bad decision. I think it's better to release when ready. So when we looked at this expo coming up into it, I think a lot of the eyes were on Jersey Jack Pinball, game number 4. Dialed In came out in the last year, started shipping. That was kind of a slow build. I think at first it was like, wow, it looks great. What on earth is this theme? Oh, it's Pat Lawler. That's awesome. Why? I don't understand what I'm doing with this cell phone. And that game has sort of earned its place based on the merits of the game. It's the danger for smaller companies to do the unlicensed theme model because you don't get the initial, oh my gosh, I love Star Wars, I'm buying that pinball machine. Oh my gosh, Ghostbusters, dream theme, I have to have a Ghostbusters. You don't get that. You get maybe some people saying, oh, I like the artwork, or oh, it's cool, it's original, I want something original. But they really went out on a limb with Dialed In because it was kind of an oddball story. And the game, I felt kind of, certainly not overlooked, because it did look amazing. It seemed to play really good. Everyone that got to play it early on had positive things generally to say about it. But it wasn't until people really started getting to have a lot of time with the game, many people at home or on locations where they could play a lot, that I started really getting the feedback, on seeing on forums, getting emails, people saying, yeah, Dialed In's for real. This game's pretty awesome. So that game sort of had to climb its way up the mountain, if you will. So when it became pretty clear to me that Pirates of the Caribbean was the next theme from Jersey Jack, I was really negative on this as a theme. I couldn't wrap my head around the retread of a licensed theme that your main competitor, the big guy in the room, Stern, did in the last decade. Also, I think the franchise, I haven't seen a Pirates of the Caribbean movie since the second film, I don't think. I don't think they're that good or entertaining. It's not for me. That is not my style movie. Yeah, Johnny Depp, he's great. Some of the actors and actresses are great. Performances are good, et cetera, et cetera. It's just not interesting to me. So I just kind of scratched my head and was like, wow, why? Well, in the back of my head, though, I knew a couple things, a couple truths. A lot of people will see a Pirates of the Caribbean pinball machine on location or for sale or just out in the world, and to them it might be the first time they've ever seen one, because pinball was really not in the middle of its big comeback when Stern released Pirates of the Caribbean. It sold very well. Operators bought it. They're all over. It's one of the more common games I see en route here in Europe. It is a big universal franchise, Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's kind of on a downward slide, at least to me, an American with my eyes and ears on the United States market. Many people have pointed out that it still does incredibly well internationally, et cetera, et cetera. Apparently this fifth movie might have been better than the previous two. I don't know. I haven't seen it. To me, it was just sort of an odd choice. But in the back of my head, I knew it's okay, as long as the game is good. Because, Hobbit, to me, wasn't a fantastic choice either. If hey, we're going to miss our deadline, we're going to release this game way after the movie. If you tell everybody that, to me, it's like, well, then maybe The Hobbit's not the best. It's almost like, yeah, we didn't do Lord of the Rings, but we'll do The Hobbit. I don't think the Hobbit movies were sort of as good as Lord of the Rings or received as well, etc. Won't be remembered as fondly. But if the game's really good, having a big license that everybody does know, everybody knows The Hobbit, everybody knows Pirates of the Caribbean, it kind of doesn't matter. If the game's really good, the pinball audience will react, and you will have a chunk of people who do like the theme, who are into Pirates of the Caribbean, who will say, yeah, I'm going to give this game, the benefit of the doubt. And isn't that what themes really are for in terms of the near-term success of a game at launch? It's trying to get the benefit of the doubt from your customers. It's trying to give some segment of the customer base who has the money and has the means and has the want to buy a new game. You're giving them a reason to just say, yeah, I want that. And that's why themes like Star Wars are so incredibly valuable, because it doesn't matter about the game being good or the code being done. There are people, rightfully or wrongfully, I'm not judging this, I'm just saying this is the truth. There are people that will just buy the game. Now, I still had to wrap my head around a game that's still out on location by your main competitor, a theme at least, being used again. Okay, fine. We've got that. It's happening. Good. So the wide body, standard size body game thing. I have just not really been into the gameplay of Wizard of Oz or Hobbit. I've been incredibly impressed by the package that those games come in. The artwork, the sound, the world under glass, quote unquote. I was really blown away by how Hobbit ended up looking. I thought it looks amazing. I thought the visuals on the screen mixed with the really good sound system, impressive. It's immersive. It's fantastic. I like it. You add in Keith Johnson doing your rules, and I'm a big fan of the package it comes in. I, however, didn't really react very well myself to the gameplay of Wizard of Oz or The Hobbit. Both games were kind of to me. I see what they're going for in each, but Wizard of Oz to me is a big miss, just for me personally. It doesn't flow well to me. I don't really like the shots. Certain things are used too often. Not my favorite. I do like a lot of the rule ideas. I do like some of the light work in that game. It's not like I hate the game. to me, it's not, especially when we're talking about premium priced games. We're not talking about, I can get one of these for $4,500 in a couple years. And these games are expensive. So Hobbit, I see what they're doing with the Medieval Madness style troll style pop-ups out of the playfield. That's cool. You've got the center ramp. I get it. Really unique molded toys on the playfield. It looks good. When they redid the art package, I thought that it was an incredible upgrade from what we saw at Expo. Was that 3 years ago? So Hobbit ended up being a really nice package. I didn't like the flow of the game. The shots all felt too far away, and often I didn't feel like there was much to do. Even though there was lots to do. The rules were incredibly deep. I didn't feel like, as somebody with fingers on buttons, I didn't feel, I don't know, not for me. Dialed in, I was like, what on earth are you doing with this theme? Pat Lawler, come on. I love Pat Lawler. I love Pat Lawler designs. But then I played the game and I was like, okay, this is really cool. This is fun. The spirit of it is fantastic. Good players like the game. Bad players like me like the game. The geometry was really nice. The light show is amazing. I think the only criticism I would really give Dialed In would be maybe the back box animations, the LED screen. What was on that to me is kind of weak, not my favorite. Super innovative with the selfie mode. I like all that. I think that's fantastic. That's fun. That's great. Dialed In is strong. I think Dialed In is really strong, and that certainly to me could be looked back upon in 10 years. Crossing my fingers, we're all still here in 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. But that could be, looking back from now in 10 years, really the magic turning point for Jersey Jack Pinball. I mean, certainly business-wise, with investors and money and production, it certainly is to me, because they got that thing to market in a fairly timely manner, all things considered. So, as we ramp up here to Pirates of the Caribbean, I hear it's a wide body again, and I'm just like, oh man. And in my head, all I can think of is Hobbit with this big wide open playfield with like a pirate ship on it or something. That's just what's in my head. So when I see the first pictures leak late last night European time on Pinside, there was this thread going where people had uncovered a photo, and I was refreshing the thread. I was half falling asleep. I'd just flown home from Italy, and I was tired. I should go to bed, but I knew the pictures were about to pop up, and I wanted to see people's reaction. Somebody may have sent me the picture the day before, maybe not. We'll just leave that unsaid. But I wanted to see what people thought, because when I saw it, I was kind of like, oh, all right, that looks pretty awesome. I had a low-res, pretty bad version of it. The version that did finally leak last night on Pinside was somewhat better. The game, honestly, if you squint or take a glance at it, you don't think wide body, because there's a lot going on. That leads me to waking up this morning and getting to go and watch the stream of the reveal of the Pirates of the Caribbean game. The crew from Bro Do You Even Pinball streamed it from Expo. I think that this was a really, really good reveal of a game. I liked a lot of what happened here. You had Jack, you had his business partners whose names I'm just blanking on. I know Joe is the CEO, and I forget the other gentleman's name, who's an investor. But you had these guys who are all clearly passionate about pinball and passionate about being in the business of pinball, which is a separate thing. There's a Venn diagram somewhere that shows you about pinball love and business pinball love, and there's some crossover in there. And I think these people are firmly in the middle of that crossover. But you had them sort of tell the story, and the takeaways I had from the lead up to the reveal of the actual game, and I made notes. I was like writing like a madman, because I knew I wanted to talk about this, because I think this is an important game and an important launch. One of the quotes that was thrown out there was, for generations to come, really trying to instill the idea that Jersey Jack Pinball is not a company that is going to go away. They're trying to set themselves up for the future. The company's clearly not all on the back and shoulders of Jersey Jack himself anymore. There's clearly a bigger team, more money put in, and that's a good thing. I think that's actually a good thing. I think sometimes, it's better to have a team and have multiple people than the solo person running the ship. the speech that I believe Joe, the CEO of Jersey Jack Pinball, made, I made some notes. I really liked what he said. He said they're dedicated to quality and innovation, reliability, and the customer experience. I mean, that says a lot. He's clearly speaking to the crowd in front of him. He's speaking to people who have paid money to come to a pinball show in Chicago and see the release of a new pinball machine. And these are things that we want to hear as pinball fans. We want to hear quality, innovation. We want something new. If we're going to spend lots of money, we want something exciting. The customer experience. Committed to deep games. Beautiful. Handcrafted games. He's throwing these words out to really, try and build the value of what Jersey Jack does. That they are, really looking at the details and trying to make things as nice as possible. They're committed to excellence, and they want to be a part of a group that's trying to do things as best as they possibly can. And I really relate to that. I love working with people in my business life that don't just show up, collect a paycheck, and go home. That every day they come in and they think, how can I be the best today? I love that. And I'm attracted to people in the world who, whether it's their hobbies, whether it's their work, whether it's their family, their relationships, they want to do it the best they possibly can, and maybe better than anybody else. I like that. They also admitted they want to be better. And I think that that's a huge thing, to not just say, hey, we got a great game, send us your money. They said, we want to be faster in the market. We want to do things better. We want higher quality. That's great. So, good. Great. Fantastic build-up, quick enough, fine. Then they introduced Eric Menier. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, Eric. Eric's the designer of the game. So Eric is 29 years old. Eric's young. Eric's been in pinball most of his life. His father was an operator. His family's an operator. His brother at Kingpin Games is a distributor and also an operator, I believe. He's got pinball in his blood. He's got coin op in his blood. He's an engineer. He's designed his first pinball machine, and he's very proud of it, as I think he should be. I was getting email about this game over the last few weeks, people sort of like dropping hints about it and talking about it and like asking me if I was going to be at Expo to see it. And the tone of the emails I was getting from people who clearly had seen the game had a certain confidence to it that told me they're happy, they're proud, that there's no excuses for what's coming, and that was pretty exciting. So the unveil, and we see the game, and it's packed. It's got lots of stuff going on it. Let's just start off with the first impressions. The art package looks fantastic. There's nothing to apologize for. I think they've done a fantastic job in putting together a work of pinball that has the pictures of the characters from the license used in a way they probably have to use them. There's probably rules. You're now working with a Disney license. They've done a good job at integrating that into a playfield and a pinball machine concept world that is not so blatantly like pieced together from a style guide. And I think that's what a lot of us all want when we say, oh, we want hand-drawn art, we want, original art. We just want it to look like it has care and touch put into it, and it's not just a color with some pictures photoshopped in or drawn in or whatever. Just the thoughtfulness, the inserts work with the colors, work with the okay. So I think it looks good, fantastic, doesn't bother me at all. Johnny Depp's Captain Jack Sparrow is down in the bottom on 2 of the 3 models, I believe. The bad guy, Davy Jones, right? When I say Davy Jones, I think of the Monkees. But yeah, the bad guy with the funny face is down at the bottom. Sorry, I don't know my Pirates of the Caribbean lore very well at all. So looks fantastic. Screens look good. Side art looks good. There's no like sinking like moments where you're like, oh man, why is that like that? Which honestly I had with The Hobbit. The little dragon in the middle, the blue background, I didn't like it. I was like, oh. We've had that with, I think Game of Thrones was one where I think a lot of us didn't like the artwork. And just we're looking for something better. So check, got that. It's not a big, wide open, wide body game where you're gonna have a floaty, big problem mess on your hands. Possibly. Check. They've filled this game. Hey, look, there's rings in the center of this game, and I had seen that a couple days ago and thought, okay, so they have a spinner in the middle of the game. That's been done before. That's cool. That can be good. That can be bad. Depends how it's integrated. Interesting. We'll get more into that a little bit later because it's more than meets the eye upon first glance. So if I even try and tell you all the things that are crammed into this game, I'll still miss some features. it's an incredibly fleshed out game. There's 5 flippers in the game. There's an upper playfield that rocks back and forth that is supposed to be the boat from the game. This playfield also can lock a ball into the cannon and shoot the cannon ball across to hit the other ship. So you're fighting ships with your playfields. I think that's really cool. There's 13 unique shots on the main playfield when you take the ramps and the orbits and the main things you're shooting at. There are 2 subways in this game underneath the playfield, with one of them, I believe, has 5 different entrances. That's awesome. There's 230 color-changing LEDs in this game. That's a lot. If you look at the bottom of the game for a wide body, what are they going to do with all that space? Well, they've got 6 in-lanes. They've got the in-lane that goes straight down. They've got the in-lane save mechanisms. There's 2 different out-lane skill saves available to you. It's sort of that skateball vibe, which is very cool. So check. They've got lots of stuff going on here. They've got a chest that's in the back that is a physical ball lock for locking multi-balls. They've got a pop bumper with a spinning guy on it. It's cool. Got it. Check. You got me. There's lots of stuff, plenty of stuff built into this game. So the spinner in the middle. It's 3 concentric rings, and I'm going to pretend I know exactly what the word concentric means, and I'll use it exactly how it's meant to be used, because it's my show and I'll do as I wish. So it's actually not one spinner in the middle. It's not like your Tron spinner or your Whirlwind spinner. It's actually a disc inside a disc inside a disc, and the 3 discs can spin either direction and don't have to spin the same way together as the outer ring, so you can have all sorts of craziness going on there. And when you see gameplay of Pirates of the Caribbean, you will see the weird directions and angles that the ball will come off these spinning discs. Sometimes when the ball's headed straight down or at an angle, it will not just throw the ball straight one direction, it will have some, quote, English on it. That's a pool term, ladies and gentlemen. It will have English on the ball as it spins it to the side, maybe a downward spin also. Very cool. Really nice centerpiece to a playfield that is, quote, a toy, but also very, tied into the gameplay. Like that a lot. The disc ends up, as Eric told us in the reveal, which please watch the reveal on the Bro to Even Pinball YouTube page, because Eric speaks really well about the game. What a good hire, right? I mean, this guy seems to be a classy guy, smart guy, intelligent guy, well spoken, pitches his game well. But the discs can award different awards. They will grant you different awards, and the way they line up with the 3 discs, there's like 200 or more different awards possible out of those discs, which is cool. I'm just trying to go through all my notes. There's so much going on here. We talked about the upper playfield that can rock back and forth. That's really cool. It has 2 flippers, has 2 spinners. The spinners have a fantastic sound effect to them. I love it. It's kind of like a creaky old wooden sound thing going on. Love it. And there's some interesting gameplay you will have with the rocking effect of that playfield, where you can, try and shoot different shots and get the ball to slide back to the side you want it on, depending on which of the mini flippers. I'm not a huge upper playfield guy. This one looks pretty cool. So that's neat. I think there are 22 different characters available to play in the game. And Eric sort of dropped a little subtle joke about, I think he was taking a jab at Game of Thrones a little bit when he said that there will not be one, and he dropped the word house. Couldn't tell if that was on purpose or not, that is super overpowered versus the rest. He stressed that the coding from Keith Johnson will make them all unique, and there won't be one that everybody just seems to gravitate to and pick. We'll see about that. But 22 characters, that's a lot. 105 chapters in the game, taken from all 5 of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and what each game does, when you start a game, the game randomly selects 5 chapters from each of the movies, combining together for, let's do math with Nate, 5 chapters from 5 movies. That's 25 chapters that will be available for your specific game that you've pressed the button to play. They told us that with that being the case, that there's some crazy number like 3.25 sextillion versions of the game you can play with the rules. I don't even know. That sounds like a fake number. I don't even know what that means. But basically what they're saying is tons and tons of variety into the rule set. this is the road we're going down, everybody, having LED screens, being able to give you choices of characters or houses or avenues or routes. You're going to be able to do things with coding much easier in the modern pinball machines than you could back when we were working with DMDs, or certainly back before the DMD era. You're going to be able to do things like this where you can quickly and easily write in code. I say quickly and easily. More quickly and easily build these very, very deep codes into these games to give you incredible amounts of depth, incredible amounts of variety in gameplay, in objectives, in skill shots, in jackpot ideas. There's going to be so much in the future, and we're really just, I think, at the very beginning of that. So 105 chapters, you'll play 25 per game. It's very interesting. So, going through my notes. 5 mini wizard modes. Very cool. There is one main wizard mode. They were making jokes about how it's incredibly, incredibly hard to get there. There's 5 unique multi-balls, one from each film. Tortuga multi-ball, which is weird hearing because that's a Stern mode in the Stern Pirates of the Caribbean. So the code is deep. They are creating a game that people buying at home are going to never say, oh, yep, seen it all, bored, because this thing is apparently just incredibly, incredibly fleshed out and deep. So we have 3 different editions of Pirates of the Caribbean. Your standard edition, which has a sale price of $8,500 a limited edition, which has a sale price of $9,500 $9,500, and then there's a collector's edition limited to 200 pieces at $12,500, which hurts my heart to say that. But if the market's there, so be it. I would do the same thing, I guess. So. Here's what I do really appreciate about the way that Jack has launched his different editions of his games. The playfield, the game, what you're actually doing, flipper to ball, scoring points, going through the game, toys, subways, ramps, it's the same on every version. I really appreciate that. It drives me crazy that out there in the wild there are certain games that have completely different rule sets based on features in and out of games. I get why it's happening. I get if you're trying to make a game for distributor markets, there's a huge argument to be made for it. And you know what? Look, I've even seen people already saying, I really wish they'd make a stripped down version of this game for $6,000 that I could buy. Well, it's not what they're doing. They're going the other way. They're using this as a selling point of their company. I don't even think it's just the game. It's Jersey Jack Pinball has had to sell themselves as a company. They're a newcomer in a very small industry. Pinball, it's not a big industry. And 5 years ago we were saying Stern, the only company that builds pinball machines. So they've had to build themselves up and earn trust and earn respect. And one of the things I think they've used is, hey, all our games are the same. Yes, we'll sell you upgraded art packages, armor on the game, things like that, but the game's all the same. I like that personally. I think that's fantastic. So that's a selling point. So what do you get for the different editions here? Well, I just so happen to have that. Your standard edition is not numbered. It's just the standard edition. They will, I'm sure, have a serial number, but it's not a numbered game. Stainless steel body armor, tempered glass. You have your 27-inch HD LCD, which all 3 games have. You have your RGB LED feature lighting, white general illumination lighting, your sound system, hand-drawn playfield art, premium clear-coated playfield. That's your kind of your bullet points on the actual box that you're getting for the standard. And it has high-gloss UV ink printing on the cabinet art and a CD manual for the game. You have optional upgrades to the Rad Cal's cabinet art and the Invisiglass glass for the game. So when you move up to your limited edition and spend $1,000 more, $9,500 versus $8,500, you now get black textured powder coated body armor and legs. You get the Invisiglass. You get an external volume and headphone jack, which the placement of that has drawn ire of some dialed-in owners, I have heard. The same playfield art as the standard, premium clear-coated playfield, pop bumper rotation and toys. That is an upgrade there on the limited edition. Laser cut topper, which is very cool. The topper on this game is a ship in a bottle with water and the ship moving. Really neat. Target decals, which apparently are not on the standard edition, which is interesting. 72 light Starfield on the back panel, which is sort of like a shimmering Starfield effect in the back. I've seen bands use this at concerts where they have like the curtain behind them that has little like, stars that kind of twinkle and blink. So that's cool. That's an upgrade. And then you get a shaker motor. I think, my guess is, looking at those upgrades, I think they have kind of found a nice sweet spot for value add there, where a lot of customers who are going to be buying this game are going to go for the limited edition. When you bump all the way up to the collector's edition, the $12,500 collector's edition, this to me is a little bit the ego edition. This is people who just have to have the best of the best, the perceived best of the best, the rare one. I have number 142. This is a lot of money. So what do you get? You get a Pirates of the Caribbean color barnacle covered body armor and legs. I saw the pictures of these barnacle covered body armor. I don't really like. I think that was one of the misses of everything I saw. I thought it was kind of gaudy myself. The stuff surrounding the action button on the lockdown bar looked fine. The stuff up and down the sides, not really for me. Same speakers, same screen, same lighting. You get the headphone jack, of course. You get a separate hand-drawn playfield art package. They showed a brief shot of that. It looked like it was the Davy Jones face replacing the Jack Sparrow face. I'm sure there's bunches of other things happening there on the playfield, so it'll be a separate playfield package. They didn't have the playfield yesterday at Expo. I think it was on its way. Molded playfield toys. That's on both the limited and the collectors. You get the pop bumper rotation toys. You get the special backglass art and all the other features. You get the Rad Cal's cabinet art standard there, and you get a printed manual. And if anyone's ever seen that Wizard of Oz manual, that there is value there. So I myself can't see justifying $12,500. I think that's somewhere up there in the worlds with the super LEs that Stern did for Batman. It's really catering to a certain crowd that is buying on exclusivity. And if that money's there and I'm in business, I'm trying to take that money too, everybody. So I don't blame them. I'm just not ever going to be a part of that, likely. So that's all well and good. That's fine. You've now impressed me. I've got my eyes are open. You've built a fantastic looking game. You've put together a beautiful world under glass. You've intrigued me with your toys, with your mechanics, with your layout. It's interesting. The in lanes and out lanes are interesting. I like this. Does it play good? Right? Isn't that the story? I mean, you can make the prettiest game in the world and if it doesn't play good, who cares? So one thing they did that I think was really nice on this reveal stream, for those of us not in Chicago, is the gentlemen, Kevin and Nick from Bro to Even Pinball, immediately set up a stream and started playing the game. Friend of the show, friend of Coast2Coast Pinball and co-host of the very infrequently updated Wide World of Pinball, Steve Bowden, joined them for a 3-player game. Watched them play. Gotta tell you, they didn't miss here. This ended up being a fantastic reveal because the game impressed with features, with art, with gameplay. The gameplay looks really fun. The shots look good. The game was... And oh my gosh, this drives me crazy when I go to pinball shows and see new games and they're set up super flat and floaty and it's like, oh, you're killing me with this. And Jersey Jack's been really guilty of this in the past. They didn't do that here. The game was set up at a nice angle, looked steep enough. The flippers were not underpowered. They looked like all the shots could be hit. This game was ready for prime time. Steve Bowden, who I respect more than just about anybody in pinball, was like having so much fun playing this game. He liked the inner loop shots off the upper flipper. He did skill shots off the upper flipper. I don't know. I was kind of blown away. And I don't get too blown away very often. This was one of the best reveals of a pinball machine ever. I think that they didn't miss much here. Hats off to Jersey Jack Pinball. Please go look at the footage. This is a big thing. I immediately start saying, okay, this is going to sell. I know it's going to sell. They've got a hit. Dialed in shipping. Dialed in. Oh, no. I have this little, birdie on my shoulder going, uh-oh. When I think about this game, The big mistake that I think might be happening with this game is timing. I wonder right now how many people are out there watching the internet, watching games on location, thinking, Dialed In is awesome. This game rules. Pat Lawler, I like the shots, I like the selfie mode, I like the friendly nature of this game. It looks great, it's lit up. I think I might buy this game. Oh, look, I got pictures on Pinside of the facility, the Jersey Jack facility in New Jersey with all these games lined up. I think I want to buy one of these. And I don't know, I'd love to see their monthly sales chart. I would love to see it. Like, I would pay real euros right now to see that. And it'd be interesting to watch from the launch to when games started shipping, when orders came in. I'm really worried that the game that Pirates of the Caribbean affects most, because a lot of people are online saying, Stern's going to have Monday morning meetings, blah, 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 blah. Star Wars is in trouble. Next title is going to be in trouble. I don't know about that. I'm not sold that Stern is going to be in any, quote, trouble from a really fantastic game from another company. I think Stern's got their own thing going. We'll get into that in a second. What I'm actually worried about is, did Jersey Jack Pinball just cost themselves hundreds of sales of Dialed In by releasing what will be perceived by some to be a more attractive game to buy? Because this game just hit the ground running. This game, I mean, come on. Dialed In's cool, but I don't know, man. Pirates of the Caribbean, if I had to buy one, I haven't played Pirates, I don't know, but if I'm like average pinball collector guy and I'm gonna buy one, you just put a lot of people in a tough position. Your games are really expensive. I know you want to put a game out every 18 months. I respect that. This game is estimated to ship in Q1. And I know it's Expo. We want to show our game. We want to support Chicago. We want to, yada, 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 yada. I think the game that is most hurt by Pirates of the Caribbean is their own game, Dialed In. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe Dialed In has slowed down. I don't think that has anything to do with the timing and release of Pirates. I think they're trying to hit Expo. They're trying to hit end of the year, trying to get orders. They're kind of in the off cycle of Stern. Stern's been selling Star Wars. It's been going on. They don't have a new game for a few months. There's no big remake right this moment. Good time, right? Great time. Maybe they'll still sell both. Maybe this will be the game where people go, oh, you know what? Jersey Jack is my new favorite pinball company. I want both. I have a Wizard of Oz. I like it. I was going to buy Dialed In. I'm going to buy a Pirates. I might buy the Dialed In too. Maybe I'm wrong. But my gut feeling was this might have just undercut Dialed In a bunch. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. What is the effect of this on the industry? Well, I think that this didn't do American Pinball and Houdini any favors whatsoever coming later in the evening after they put their presentation on. I haven't had a chance to watch their whole presentation. I'll do another show recapping all of Expo in a few days. We'll talk about that. But boy, I think this makes it tough right now for other people. I think that Highway Pinball's gotta not like this at all. I think American Pinball doesn't like this. I think Spooky Pinball is probably just happy as can be that they're building Total Nuclear Annihilation, which is a completely different game at a completely different price point for a very different kind of want. Maybe it's the same buyer because we're all pinball people. I would love to have both, but Total Nuclear Annihilation is really kind of different. So I think that's great for them. Alice Cooper's coming. We're not there yet. Time will cycle through. Money will cycle through. It'll be okay. Stern. Okay. Stern had their talk at Expo. It's an off cycle time right now for Stern. They're working on code. They're working on finishing a game from a designer who's not at the company anymore. They are, probably, I don't know. What are they thinking about this? I'm trying to put myself in the heads of everybody at Stern. They don't like this. They don't probably like the fact that their biggest competitor, I don't even know if they're a big competitor yet, but their biggest competitors put out what is now being pretty widely acclaimed as a fantastic launching game. It's early. It's launch. I haven't seen these things built yet. They don't like that, but do I buy into this narrative that, Gary Stern and crew are going to wake up Monday morning and sit around the conference table and scream at each other and yell, you need to do better? Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Stern's putting out 2 or 3 or 4 games a year. Stern's putting out quality games. Stern's taking their time on some of the coding issues. That's true. They talked about it in their chat that code is incredibly tough, and they're working on it. They're still putting out games that are at a lower price point than Jersey Jack Pinball is, and we can argue the idea there all we want. Are they cutting too many corners? Are they trying to reach down too low? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't get that feeling, because I look at some of the pro games that have come out in the last few years by Stern, and I think they're great. I think Game of Thrones is a really nice game that you can go out and buy for a lot less than you can go buy something like Dialed In or Pirates of the Caribbean. So no, I don't think Stern is somehow coming unglued right now at this moment. Do you love it when your competitor steals the spotlight? Of course you don't love it. I deal with that in my business sometimes. Our main competitor, Martin Guitars, there's a super old company that sold millions of guitars over the years, and every once in a while, they hit a jackpot home run. They have Ed Sheeran plays Martin Guitars. Ed Sheeran's really popular. They put out these small Ed Sheeran limited editions, and it's like they sell them all so fast. It's frustrating because my company doesn't do things like that with artists very often. We have a different approach. Are we having meetings about how, oh my gosh, Martin took away? No, we're doing what we do, and Stern's doing what they do. They watch each other, of course. Do I think this will influence anything? Of course it will. Absolutely. I think competition is fantastic. I think it's so great that there's competition in pinball. It will up the overall level. It will up the game. Things will be better because of it. So, are they watching? Yeah, of course they're watching. Do I trust that Steve Ritchie and John Borg and Keith Elwin and George Gomez and Lyman Sheets and the whole crew there that largely goes unnamed but worked really hard are going to put out really good pinball machines, even though Pirates of the Caribbean just came out? Yeah, of course they are. They're going to put out fantastic machines, and I can't wait to see them. It's pinball. Love it. I got to go. I got to do something else. I wanted to get a show out. I love doing this show. I just don't often have the time to do it, but I love doing it. I wish I was in Chicago. I miss being so close to pinball. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Last show with Ed Robertson crossed it had huge social media shares, had lots of downloads. I had lots of feedback. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. I love that I can still put out shows and people still care. It's awesome. We'll do more talk on Expo soon. We will try and check in with some people who are actually there because I couldn't be. Maybe even sooner than later.
Hello, Steve.
Steve Bowden. How are you, sir?
Oh, Nate, how are you doing? I am a very groggy pinball player on the scene.
I love it. What time is it in Chicago right now?
It is 5:50.
5:50 in the morning. How late were you up?
I believe that's right. I don't remember because after that was over, I went back to finish my tournament entry. So, it was approaching midnight when I finally decided to cash it in. Catch up on some sleep.
I wanted to call you to talk all about the Pinball Expo tournament. That's really what we're here to... No, I'm just kidding. I want to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean. I saw you on the stream with the Brody and Pinball guys. I just recorded a show. I'm going to insert this towards the end of the show because I said I was going to talk to some people, and here you are, being generous with time, waking up early in the morning. What'd you think of Pirates of the Caribbean?
Well, that was a whirlwind last night. Okay. All right. So it is. See, what can we start? It's a wide body that is not slow as people feared. It's not fast because it's a wide body, but it's not slow. Okay. I guess I'd put it in second place behind Dialed In as far as speed. If we're saying Dialed In, this game, and then put Wizard of Oz and Hobbit to fight over who's slower.
Sure.
So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Code is about somewhere between 20 and 33%, 20 and 30%, as from what we saw there, which was a lot. So we saw a lot. I mean, we have the video. We have the video there, which I haven't even been able to rewatch and analyze yet to see what really happened, because that was on 3 hours sleep when I went in there, and my mind was being blown with being explained what was going on. It's a lot of stuff. It's sort of like if So like if Dalton had a conversation with the Hobbit, and then said, "Hey, I want deeper rules, but I still want to." I want more layers, but I still want more. I still want to keep my speed. What can we do here? So, but keep in mind, I don't remember any of the movies, so my experience is based on the game. Okay,
well,
so
that
I
makes
have no
two
bias.
of us. Yeah, I'm in the same.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
in the
remember
same
anything.
boat. Get it? I'm in the same boat.
Right, we're in the same rocking boat like we saw yesterday, which is cool. The rocking boat in the upper right was nice.
Did that seem to dominate too much, or was it used okay, in your opinion?
It was okay because you don't have to go up there. I mean, but you're going to want to go up there to fire and start that particular multi-ball. It's not the only multi-ball, obviously, but it's just one of them. But if you want to start that one, if you want to stack that one, then you're going to want to go up there. But you don't have to go up there.
What did you think of the shots in general? Like, how did the flow seem to you? Were the shots obvious to shoot at, and did they feel good?
The left and right ramp area, those feel great. Those are obvious to shoot for. Then you have the upper area, which has shots in the back, which are a little hidden. But once you find them, they're pretty much there. I mean, they don't. At least from the example we were playing there, the shots up there were pretty easy to hit. It's like the mode start, I guess you call it the character start, or not the scene start. I forgot what it is, but whatever it was that starts the scenes in the movies that you get. Right, so whichever random selection of scenes that you get from the many that are available. So that and the reverse shadow loop that we had there, that was awesome. So like you can keep hitting that. If you keep hitting that and then end off the combo with like a gold shot or a saucer shot, sort of like end of line, sort of like a short version of end of line from Trime, but it's just involving that loop. And then you hit it, and then gold falls onto the screen, and you collect the gold with the buttons, sort of like TIE Fighters, but more active. Like when you get a gold shot, gold just appears on the screen, and you hear the gold coming. So it's not like you have to look at the screen really once you know what the sound is, and they'll tell you. They mean the call out. The call out will tell you that gold happened. Gold, get the gold or something like that.
Sure.
And then you just tap the button for how much gold shows up. And so it could be one gold, 5 gold, 10 gold for as many gold shots that you hit. So, and you have to collect a certain number to start a multi-ball. So that's what we were talking about. Like there's a multi-ball where if you get 50 gold, you can start it, but you can get more gold to make the shots worth more before starting it. So there's a lot, and then that wheel in the middle isn't implemented yet. Like the wheel with all the awards.
The award side of that isn't it? It's just spinning sort of randomly right now, or
it's just spinning. Yeah, it's just spinning. Yeah, it's spinning sort of randomly to try and mess with all of it right now. That's all it's doing now. And it wasn't terrible. I mean, you see, it's in a precarious position. It's sort of in a position that's lower than NBA or lower than Fireball 2. That's sort of where it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fun to mess with. But none of the awards are in there. If you saw all those awards that is there, they're not in yet. But that'll be interesting to be able to, get a random award, or I don't know if it's going to be random or what you can be able to do with that wheel. But they had stuff up there like, change opponent's character, where a character, where their character will then be disabled and they'll have to choose another one with different powers. Right. So all the characters have different powers. So that's why I was looking. When I looked at that, I'm thinking, okay, this is Street Fighter Turbo Edition, and I'm choosing Ryu, Ken, Sagat, Chun-Li, Cammy, and Bison, whatever. And each one of them has their own different super art. So one of them could be help you complete the modes faster. One of them, I forgot what one of them allows you to get more gold. So that was like Lannister, right? But,
exactly.
But better than that. It was better than that. So. So all of them have their different powers, and so if you're in a multiplayer game, two people can't have the same character. So
really?
You can choose a character. Yeah, so that is one of the few advantages of going first, is that we can put that under the column of a going first advantage, but there aren't many of them.
Now, when they were saying there's ball stealing, did they mean like lock ball stealing?
I wish I had asked that question. I don't know if they were saying if you can take a ball away from someone. Like, for example, if you have 3, then now you have 2. I'm not sure of that.
Okay, interesting.
But it might be. I mean, it will probably be something that will be disabled in tournaments, but
yeah.
That would be kind of cool because, I mean, then that would really prove the point of there's no disadvantage then of going first if you can take someone's ball.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm trying to regather my thoughts again because that was deep. That was and that was 30% about, let's estimate 30%, which is, make that, I don't know, make it a real estimate of about a quarter. So we're at about a quarter done, and then they still have to put in more characters. You see, if you may have noticed, some of the characters still said, not coming soon. So
yeah,
those weren't implemented. So their powers weren't implemented, even though they were there. You could select them, but their powers weren't in.
So
weren't there.
From what I could tell on the internet and watching streams and reading, the buzz was just overwhelmingly positive on this game so far.
Yeah, so far, I mean, what's Pinside saying? Are they hating it already?
No. Pinside's got their wallets out.
Okay, they get all right. So the wallets are prepared. Okay, they're prepared.
Yep.
Get them prepared. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, you see, I guess let's point out something else with the lower play field, like the standard flipper area, but the six in lanes, right? The 6 in lane out lanes. That's spelled pirate, and it has the sort of out lane in lane one, like the middle lane is the out lane. Okay, which you gotta get used to. But again, it's not as dangerous as other games that have that. So, and there's a kick out on the far left that kicks to the far left in lane, which is the out lane, but it's the far left in lane that curves back around. So, it's not as bad as it seems when you look at it. And so what you do with those is you have pirate, it spells pirate, and once you complete pirate, you light the pirate target in the upper area, which claims the award that you selected on the button. Like there's a button, like it has the button, and you select the button to choose which award you want to get when you complete those in lanes. And there's things like big points, there's standard stuff, big points, bonus X's, playfield X's, things like that. There's lots of ways to string things together.
One thing I don't think I mentioned in my show that I've been kind of rambling on here about is the LED screen that's down in the apron of the game that has like a compass.
Right.
Now, is that telling you where you should be shooting for certain objectives?
It's giving you guidance. Yeah, it's giving you guidance on where you should be shooting. Yeah, in general. Now, I'm sure that's probably it's a suggestion. So there may be, like if you get far enough, there may be a better shot somewhere. I'm, just guessing. There may be a better shot somewhere or a better choice, but that arrow was always a good choice.
Interesting.
I mean, at the beginning of the game, you haven't done much, so it's the best choice. Like shoot the treasure chest, open it up, lock it, do it again, shoot the right ramp, do that. So you could really look at it and say, I can shoot in this direction, and if I make it, something good will happen. And so you can use that, and then you can use the larger LCD screen up top, which has the map that's showing you your progress on the screen. Like I don't know how easy that was to see, where on the map you had, like for example, on the left continent you had open treasure chest, lock 1, treasure chest, lock 2, and then it would show this Indiana Jones like line as you were going through it. And so you would know what progress you are on the left side for that multi-ball. Then in the middle, like collect the 9 pieces of 8. And as you collect those 9 pieces, it shows on there. And then on the right, there was path to another multi-ball. So you could see that progress all on one map screen, as opposed to having on WoZ where there were 4 different sections, or on Hobbit where there were 8 sections. I don't know what was on there. It was showing progress. This was one big map area, showing you different sections of progress, but on one picture. So it was cleaner to look at. It's cleaner to look at because it looks like one picture, as opposed to multiple different sections.
Do you like these modern games that are sort of kind of blending video game progress maps with pinball?
I do. I don't. It still seems like pinball to me. It felt like it to me. I was still flipping it, and flipping it made things happen. We didn't have a video mode yet, so maybe we might have. I don't know if we'll have that, but I mean, it was still, you flip the ball and things happen. It just happened more technologically.
Yes.
So it's just more. It's like we had our dot matrix displays, and then we have our LCDs, and now we have multiple LCDs, but we don't want to get crazy with it. But their work, I mean, it still felt like pinball to me. I mean, again, this was a whirlwind. So you can tell how I'm, talking even early in the morning. I'm just sort of like, I'm regathering my thoughts and rearranging what happened in there and trying to remember, and then just realizing that if this is only about a third of what's there, and they still have to put more characters in and more modes and, Keith's crazy wizard mode in there or whatever that's going to be, and all these movies and scenes that are going to go in there, and and with Johnny Depp in it, I guess. I don't remember. I just remember his picture was there. I mean, people were worried about Johnny Depp.
It looked like Johnny Depp. Yep. Johnny
Depp was there. I mean, he was certainly there, and all the characters were in there. So. Yeah, and to have the designer and programmer right there, that was wild. That was really fun. I was trying to watch the chat to see if we asking some questions, and if I could see a question, try to pass it forward to the designer and programmer, and they were very very forthcoming with their responses. I mean, the hype was real. So,
that's good, man. I appreciate the insight. How is Expo looking from your point of view?
Well, from my point of view, I mean, I'm focused on tournaments and certain seminars, of course, because I was drafted for the Jersey Jack one, so I thank Jersey Jack and Buffalo Pinball for allowing me access in there. I guess from the previous stream or whatever, that was I guess. I just appreciate the privilege of going in there and doing that stuff, with them. That was awesome. The tournament, it flip out these lines there. That's what flip out is. So you have to play all your entries on Thursday. So, you have to try to work in that time. That's that hidden skill of the tournament player. It's time management. Especially if you're at an expo where you want to do other things.
Yeah.
And you want to hang out, you want to see the stuff, and you want to play in the tournament, and you got to manage your food, you got to manage your sleep, you got to do all that stuff. So,
how are you doing so far in the flip out tournament? Where are you standing?
I didn't even look. I think I'm 23rd seed, which gets me, like, if you're the top 8, you have the most buys. Then 9 through 16 gets one less buy than where I am at 17 through 24 gets one less buy, so you work your way back in the bracket. And so I'd be on the 3rd level, so I'd play sometime, I think Saturday. I'm not sure. I would have to go back and look at the almighty bracket and see what time is listed there when I need to be there for that, and see when I can start. 'Cause it's double elimination, so. It's double elimination, and it's best of 3 each game.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. So yeah, the lines were deep. The lines were pretty deep, and this year they didn't have things to distract people from the line. Like this year they didn't have the highway thing off site. They didn't have other things that would take away from the line. So the line was definitely strong. And as soon as I got back from the Stern tour, the line was okay, which was about 12:31. Then about my 3rd game, the line started forming, and then as the seminars started coming up, the line went down a bit. But it was. I'm not sure how many people are actually on there because I haven't even looked at it yet. So I just got up, so I haven't even checked out where I am. But now it's just, hey, just go in there and just survive and advance, just like the NCAA tournament.
Well, take it down. Good luck, man. I wish you the best there. Thank you for coming on. I know you just woke up. I appreciate it. We're going to get the show out and published so people can listen this morning. But, man, I miss you. I wish we were playing more pinball. Darn it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, hey, if the show's coming out today, that's cool. See if I can download it. And on my way to the Pinball Life Party is supposed to be today, so I'm hoping I can get to that. I'm hoping I qualify well enough where I can go to the Pinball Life Party and still get back. So,
I bet you do.
And I'll be able to listen to the show then. That's cool.
That's the goal.
Yeah, breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news on the scene.
Something like that. Something like that. All right, man.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Steve.
All right, thank you.
See, like I said, sooner than later. Steve Bowden. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So that is for real. The end of the show. We got to go. Eric Manier, you're a champ. Steve Bowden, you're a champ. Jersey Jack, you're a champ. Friendly listeners, you're a champ. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Be nice to each other. Play some more pinball. Later.